hot on the heels of the announcement of Gears of War Emergence Day, I thought it would be a great time to go back to the original Gears of War, comparing the PC version in a retro PC time capsule with the original Xbox 360 version. And to do that today, I'm joined by my ever-friend and colleague, unquitting, John Linneman.
Hey, Alex, I'm here on the circle. We're doing some geometry today, playing on the 360. So this was Gears of War. Obviously, with the return of the series and E-Day, we're going to go to the game that takes place closest to E-Day, the original Gears of War. And this is interesting because this is one of those games that was initially launched as an exclusive on Xbox 360, only to later receive a PC port, which the following three games did not. So This was kind of an interesting situation.
Yeah, this is one, too, where I'm playing it on a... I want to do something different. We've covered this game before on the channel around this time. Let's move forward a bit, John.
Yeah.
Let's do the get right into it, not the training.
Wait, before we go there, look at something here. I see right away there's a texture difference.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. Look at
Colors?
That. No, look at the left there, the door frame.
Oh, yeah, you're
it's
right.
Much lower res on 360. Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah.
But there's other different... Yeah. Let's go ahead and hit left. Go straight to combat. And I think as we play, there's already a lot of... Oh, wait. But, yeah. Wow.
It already looks different.
There's a lot... Oh.
I mean, I'm using the default color scheme. I'm not using warm or whatever.
Same. This is the default.
So this is just the way it should look. I think one of the reasons why we may see differences, I'm using the high texture setting. I'm using VSync, but you can also already see that VSync is not working. We'll talk about all that.
There's also, as I'm curious to see how it manifests going further, but you can see there's a difference in the way Bloom presents on 360 here. It's much more pronounced, and the game has like a more oversaturated look in that regard, as if they've got... Yeah, so let me just double check here just to make sure, because I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's just the default display setting, because you can modify this.
There are no display settings.
But you are using the default one, which you can
it's the one that installs with the game. Yeah, whatever. It's got to be the defaults. This PC port is a piece of work, to say the least, and I hope you're seeing that right now. I'm running it on an X1950 Pro under Windows XP DX9, using what is like the high, medium settings in the game, and it's paired with a Pentium D840, which is 3.2 gigahertz, if I'm not mistaken. I wanted to show this game on a PC that is around the time of the Xbox 360's launch, to kind of show just how far ahead the 360 was in a lot of ways. But unfortunately, I would say due to the quality of this port, you're maybe not even seeing that completely. You're just kind of seeing like issues.
I also picked this port up back in the day when I upgraded to an 8800 GT and built a new rig. I think it was like the 6850 CPU I was using, which was just the dual core. And I remember this game. I guess the elephant in the room here is that this is effectively the beginning of Stutter Struggle. Right?
Oh my gosh!
Like, as we know it today, this is it. This is where it starts, and it was terrible for that.
So, on this PC, it is just egregious beyond belief. It is awful, and I could not even begin to tell you as to why it's occurring. If you play the same scene multiple times over, it isn't a shader compilation stutter. Usually, I don't think. It's just like when you move around the environment, every single place. Like, look at this. It's just like constantly the huge jerking hitches and stutters everywhere.
Worth noting, by the way, and we'll see it, I guess, later, is that these persist even on a high-end PC of the time, right?
Oh yeah, we'll load up the high-end PC later.
But what's interesting here is you started on a 2005 spec PC, which is indeed like the same year that the Xbox 360 itself launched, which gives us an idea of how far ahead of the curve it actually was in terms of just performance targets.
Oh, it's way ahead. Like here, mine, luckily when the scene is empty, it does like shoot up to around 60. Even though right now it's hard to tell because VSync is weirdly off, even though I have it on in the menu.
Let's get some cover here behind this log.
Oh, yeah, be careful.
The stone log, I'm going to call it.
Stone log. Oh, I didn't pick up the grenades. You didn't either. We weren't paying attention.
That's okay. Let's just take them out the traditional way. Yeah, this looks really different though. Look at the bloom on that stone there, the stone pillar that we're sitting on. It's very intense on 360.
Barely there on my end.
So that's
I like how
really
Dom just kind of gets sad and he falls on the ground here.
just to tutorialize you. Like, you must go save Dom. Go save Domus.
Let's do this. Ooh, I do love the cover shooting in the first Gears though. Yeah, pretty.
I mean, I like Gears in general. I think it's a good series, and I feel like it's a good time to bring it back as well. Just because I feel like we've entered the point where perhaps it is now a nostalgia game in some way. Like, there are going to be people that played this when they were younger and be like, "Oh, dude, Gears is back," you know?
Oh yeah.
And I think it's time. And they're with the whole going back to Dom and Marcus. I think that's a smart move.
It is. It is. There's a lot of interesting graphical tidbits here, though. Last time we played, I pointed out that when you shoot that gun, John, there's like a tiny bit of motion blur attached to the shells. This game has a selective per object blur, which is what Unreal Engine 3 supported at the time, where you could tag an object, and for a couple of frames it would get per object blur. But they only used it like for like the weirdest things, like shells sometimes coming out of guns. If you adhere to cover, they use it for like a few frames of the cover animation. It's so weird.
I think that's pretty cool, actually.
I like it.
So yeah, let's sidle up here and take a look out.
I'm trying to shoot my locust friends here.
Yours looks noticeably like it's got a very different tone to the visuals somehow.
Yeah, I mean, so one thing, there's the gamma curve on Xbox 360 being different.
Right.
That's always one thing easy to forget about. So
right.
Should look punchier.
Here. Line up here.
Oh yeah, let me go back. Sorry. Yeah.
So we can get a nice comparison shot.
Sorry. There we go. Oh
man, it's nasty.
Stutters.
Oh, too late.
But look at those textures.
Oh man.
Well, I'll line these up in post, but those Xbox 360 textures, either due to what is known as UED texture streaming, or just because they're that much lower. Like a couple of these shots here, like
that's abnormal behavior. I'm actually surprised I'm seeing that. Huh.
Oh, but the stutters on my end are so brutal, man.
So for the record, I should note I am using a later model Xbox 360 Slim system here, which is in good shape. But I was surprised to see those texture streaming issues there. Look at that. What the heck's going on?
So
look at that. That is not right.
I can't believe that's right.
Something is going on here. I have the console sitting next to me, and it's not like going crazy on the disk drive or anything. So I don't understand
why.
Like
Marcus.
Whoa.
This is interesting. I don't think I've seen...
This is not correct. I've never seen this before. It's just... What the heck?
Maybe we'll reload this scene later and see if it does it again. That's so weird.
Let's do that, because this does not represent what this scene looked like. Okay,
there he is.
There he is. He's there.
So...
That was weird. I don't know what to say about that.
Can have issues. Unreal Engine's texture streamer of the time was known for not being exactly producing good texture work.
And this was a problem that was super exacerbated in games like Mass Effect, right? It was notorious for that. And a lot of these early UE3 games had it. Gears was generally pretty good, but it does seem like there's a variability based on some factors. Like, I don't know what it is like that would have caused it to load that so slowly, but there it was. What's interesting, though, I guess, is that I feel like the first time we really saw this sort of texture streaming issue was when Bungie developed its texture streamer for Halo 2, which was like, it was absolutely packed with that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, I mean, that was just due to the limitations of the original Xbox with, 64 megabytes of memory. They were trying to do a lot with all those layers in the normal maps. Every texture required multiple texture passes, and it's difficult to load all that data quickly enough.
Oh yeah,
and they couldn't. But this one, so this seems fine now. It's just that initial bit there.
Yeah, it must have just been streaming in. I guess.
But again, though, look how different this looks, just in terms of the overall scene saturation and intensity, the contrast. It's a lot more. It's brighter and more heavily bloomed out on the 360 here.
I mean, I think it looked weirdly gray on PC in comparison, but one thing, like you're seeing the higher res textures on PC. That's just from the settings being set to high. You can turn them down, but I realized it doesn't really help the game's performance. The performance issue, whatever it is, seems to be due, like we just talked about, loading earlier. And there are some options to tweak that in the game's config file. I'll run them later and show them in post after this. But I don't think they're going to help performance a lot on this. One of the big issues with this game is it also used the smoothing option.
Right, the frame rate smoothing. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately on this Windows XP PC I have right here, no matter what I do, I can't edit that option. The game brings up a huge C++ error when I edit that option, but I could edit that option on a different PC using Windows Vista, interestingly enough. So this game, I'm going to say it's really, really rough on PC.
Yeah.
I played it back then. I played it on 360 first, but then definitely bought this.
I still have my disc copy.
Yeah, right. I got my disc copy right here too. That's what this is running right now. But now when I play it with the hindsight that I have now about video game performance.
Don't touch the controller. Just sit still. So we get a nice direct comparison here. All right. So
much more bloomy.
So one thing I do remember noticing and liking a lot here was the sandbags. I thought those were nicely drawn in a way that made them look suitably three-dimensional.
Full they look good.
Body, if you will.
Yeah. Most of it's texture, but it looks good.
Wow,
I mean, yours... I prefer the bloom presentation on yours.
Yeah. I assume I can darken this. Let me take a quick look effect at what these post effects do here again.
Mm-hmm.
So there's soft, lucid, vibrant.
What does vibrant look like?
Let's try it. Whoops, I should do that. There we go.
It's a bit...
it's definitely brighter.
It's brighter. Is it more saturated? It doesn't really look too much more saturated.
I mean, there's only so much you can do with this game. Let's do soft.
Yeah, what does that mean? Less bloom. It looks a little bit more like mine, almost.
Just still a little bit brighter. But I'm going to leave it on default. Let's see lucid real quick. Remember when that was actually a common thing with early Unreal Engine 3 games, is they often had this sort of like pick your display setting to suit your tastes kind of look.
Yeah, they did. I don't think it was very good. Usually, it was interesting. It was something you didn't get a lot in games. This is the time of pixel shaders. Hey, this is Alex in the editing room. You're watching me here with a old webcam, and I just wanted to point out here, as a funny side note, the PC version also includes these post-processing options, but they're named completely differently. And interestingly enough, they all do not line up with what the Xbox 360 version visual output looks like. So the post-processing, for some reason, in the PC release of this game is very, very different than what is found in the Xbox 360, and they do not offer an option at all that even approximates the original look of the game. So for some reason, Gears of War on PC is notably less saturated in terms of color, and also just has a completely different look to the bloom. So just wanted to throw that out there. Let's get back to the video.
All right. Let's go check out the water here.
Oh yeah, here we go. So you'll see me stuttering as I get over to it. It's awful. So different looking. Check that out.
It is indeed quite. It manifests very differently. The reflection position and everything looks totally different.
I don't know. I'm not looking at it at a completely different angle either. It's also colored differently.
No, you're like
here. Wait, let me just.
You're in the same spot.
You're going to see something interesting. I'm going to switch over to a different PC in real time. So this is the game on an 8800 GTX SLI rig with a QX 6700 Extreme. And the water looks more or less the exact same. So
move over to the right a little bit. Right. Oh, no, too far.
Like that?
Just if you look at my screen, you should be able to see where I'm at.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, now turn the other way. There you go. So it's like a cube map alignment thing that's changed.
It's more aligned looking on yours.
It is. It sort of matches the scenery better. but it's the same. I think it's the same basic cube map. It's presented differently, but you see that same like arch with the right.
Yeah, yours is just like straight up better looking. I really do think this port has a lot of problems. Like I just wish. Oh, you can get in there. I didn't even realize that. That's cool. Yeah,
so
no.
Yeah,
it's like
obviously, yeah, you can move it around. So it's just different. It's just slightly aligned differently for some reason. Wait, really, is it flipped? Is it backwards? Because look, the chunky edge on my cube map is to the right.
Mine is flipped.
So it's like
probably that's why it's misaligned. It's on the wrong side.
Yeah, so it's different. How strange is that?
So let me just really quickly go back to the other PCs because I'm going to run forward here and I want to show everyone in the audience just how darn stuttery this game is. It's awful.
Let's just let's pick a start. Well, before you do that again, man, I gotta say I still love these textures here. They were mind blowing back in the day, and they're still mind blowing. So is that the bad
Parallax
PC
maps? It's there on PC, thankfully.
No, I mean, is that the lower end PC there?
No, this is not the lower end PC. Let's go to that. Boop.
So why don't you walk over to here, and let's just try to go to the next combat area together.
Yeah, don't roadie run it, but just do you want to roadie run it?
No, just walk.
Oh yeah, I want to walk. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Go.
And we'll see how the stutters compare.
I mean, I hope yours isn't stuttering at all.
I mean, so far it looks completely smooth. Or
mine is
stable
the
30.
opposite is smooth. First of all, VSync isn't working, and then each and every step has like massive.
Every little step you take, stutters will be there. Okay, so now we got some enemies. That was pretty nasty on your part, I gotta say.
That was awful looking. So like as the combat goes down, it's a little bit better, but any of the traversal is. I mean, does this sound like familiar to anyone? This sounds like all my complaints about modern UE5 just like ramped up to a ridiculous degree.
Yeah. I mean, it was exactly that problem. I remember the same thing on PC, and it plagued pretty much most Unreal Engine 3 games of the era.
Yeah, it was awful.
It was the point where the complexity of the artwork and the shaders and all this kind of stuff became just a little bit too much to have everything sort of run quickly, dynamically, and ready without any sort of hiccups.
Yeah, I think it's just them trying to do streaming on a platform that at this time you probably wouldn't need to stream with the amount of memory you have. Because one of the big differences
you probably
back
did.
Then is
on the 360. I'd say you needed to stream, but
no, I meant here on PC. I'm not
PC.
talking about like a PC of this era has 2 gigabytes of RAM usually, and usually 256 to 512 or higher VRAM. So it's got a lot more to share there, but this game does streaming a lot, and it's way off.
And that was fundamentally one of the big changes between the second iteration of Unreal and this one, right? The Warfare engine or whatever. The second generation Unreal didn't really seem to support data streaming like that at all. So everything had to be a bespoke map that would load, and then you'd do the map, and then to get to the next level, it would load in a new stage completely. And Unreal Engine 3 finally allowed like seamless like data streaming to allow a continuous experience. Whoops.
Each and every single time that happens, the stutter just absolutely wrecks me. Cool ragdolls. A little bit awkward, but that's cool looking. But one thing that you'll be seeing here is John showing off in his end after he dies is the destroyed, beautiful architecture aesthetic. I forget what they called it exactly. And I'm hoping we see a bit of a resurgence of this kind of darker tone with the new Emergence Day game. I think that's what they are aiming for based upon the blog post covering the game.
Yeah.
But that is something definitely Gears loses a bit over time versus the first game.
Which is interesting. It's cool to see it get colorful. And they did some neat stuff with it, I think. Gears 5 is pretty awesome. But I think it's the right time to go back to like the horror roots, if you will. because you kind of lost the like these guys are supposed to be scary monsters coming out from underground, right? And then you got used to them, and then they bring in the robots, and it didn't have the same feeling, right?
Yeah, and I'm also going to be honest with you. I'm not exactly sure what the bad guys are anymore in the modern Gears. I know there's been the Lambent. There's been the...
Oh, yeah.
Like the Horde? I don't remember the name of the exact names of them. But it did kind of like...
It's still the Locust, I think, but it's like it gets into all that like Queen stuff, and there's like a whole...
There's deep lore here.
I don't even remember it at this point.
Yeah.
But I do remember the progression of Gears 1. They kept it simple. They kept it clean. It's kind of like a lot of games during this era had this problem where you'd have like an initial game that kept the story fairly simple and it was engaging. I would say even like Halo 1 was like that, where good story, engaging stuff, and then when they got to 2, even though I like 2 and 3, the story went nuts, right? We saw it with Gears franchise. We definitely saw it with Crysis. Where Crysis 1 is like summer blockbuster, pretty straightforward, good fun. Crysis 2 is like just gobbledygook, if I can still say that.
I don't even know what happens in Crysis 2 after all this
there's
time.
the doctor, and he doesn't...
Gould!
Find gold! You're not Prophet.
Okay, now ready? Watch this. When I cross this bridge, I played this earlier. The stutter across the bridge is so intense. Okay, I'm hoping you're already seeing this.
Yeah, that's...
Each and every step.
So basically, it's like, always traversal. It's fundamentally the issue.
Yeah. There's the dead Alpha or Delta Squad or whatever the name is. Beta Squad. Charlie Squad.
It was an interesting aesthetic they developed for this game, for sure.
I mean, yeah.
I like this idea of these sort of like ruined cities that are... They have modern elements infused into them, but like sort of like ancient architectural design. I think it's a cool look. And they kind of got away from that, I would say, overall.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As the years went on. But this one, and also, I guess the second one kind of does that. But
oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
The third one goes into very different areas, and then, yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And... Well, since E-Day is going to take place all in one city, it seems like, I think we're going to get this again, 100%. Just with a UE5 coalition-style makeover. And they've been doing an incredible job, I think, with the visuals in these games, at least. Regardless of, artistic things about like where they take place.
Right,
so,
I agree.
One thing, it's kind of nuts to see how much different the just post-processed look of this game is. It's very gray here.
Yeah, weirdly, the PC version kind of fits a little bit better somehow.
Right.
But like, I just wonder why it's so different. Like, look at the blooming coming down from the sky here.
Which one are you right behind? You're right behind this one right here?
Yeah, this one. Get it right on the edge here, and if you just look up.
Yeah, look at that.
It still looks good in both. It's just very different.
Yeah, I don't know why though. It's so weird.
I didn't actually realize that they changed this, to be honest. Did you?
Neither did I. No, I didn't. I ran these back in the day side by side just for curiosity, but I don't remember this.
No, it's really quite different looking. I wonder. I don't know. I'd be curious to know why they felt the need to change that. Whether it's better or worse is up for debate, of course, but it's just like it's more just like why, like what were they doing?
John, I just want to say each and every stutter here is taking a few minutes off my life. We have to be careful,
okay?
Because this is beyond that. Like I have my limits. Modern games hit them sometimes. Close to protocol at launch definitely affected my mental health. This though, if this launched nowadays, oh my gosh, I would be livid. And it was not known for being a good PC port.
Nope.
Just when you initially boot it up, I think the install time for this on the Windows XP machine was a little under an hour, if I'm not mistaken. That's installing from a DVD. If you just think about the read times of a DVD, it should never take an hour. Like,
I'm just up here.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah.
What's funny though is that because this is almost kind of like Vista era, I think we talked about this recently, how Halo 2 on PC is like the only game I can think of from that era that has like an play it off the disc mode.
Yeah.
you just pop it in and start playing right from disk. I thought that was pretty neat.
You know, we may have to look at what's that cross-platform Counter-Strike style game that was on 360 and PC. I forget the name of it. Oh man,
All 50 of them. Which one could it be?
It's not Shadowrun. What is it?
There was Shadowrun.
Is that it that I'm thinking about?
I mean, they rebooted Shadowrun as like a competitive shooter thing.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking about, and we should maybe look at that one day. Unfortunately, Xbox 360. Yeah, just even the difference in the color everywhere. Also, no one has shadows here. The apocalypse got rid of everyone's shadows. Now they've got shadows. Now they're back.
That's, shadows are demanding. I mean, this was still the era where we were starting to see the first round of games with like fully dynamic shadows. Obviously, Doom 3 was one of the first big ones with its stencil shadows, although I would say Silent Hill 2 and 3 before that, which also used stencil shadows, essentially similar approach, though it smoothed them out by writing it to a different buffer and then like blurring it. That was also one of the earliest games that had like fully real-time shadows, but the environments were obviously much smaller.
Yeah.
But doing large-scale shadows was freaking heavy, difficult. And they're still not there yet with this. There's a lot of baked shadows still in this game.
Which we've talked about before in the past is that the original showing of Unreal Engine 3 had a lot of real-time stencil shadow volume.
Many more than what we ended up with. Like, obviously, they were not able to achieve what they showed in that demo on the 360. And the demo itself ran very badly at the time, and I think it was on a PC.
Right.
But it didn't run well. Oh my god!
Be careful. The Troika, you have to.
You're supposed. Okay, I'm not. Paying
I'll wait for
there.
you. Don't worry about it.
You gotta flank the Troika.
We can admire some of these pipes and textures here. So this game, while it doesn't have great real-time lighting, they have baked shadows, and what they do is each character model is lit separately based upon like a spherical harmonic of like all the local lighting, and it gives them all like a very shiny look, a very lit from every direction kind of look. And the shadows also move with like the camera perspective. It's a little awkward looking. Like, I don't know if you can see it there, but the shadow isn't static. Like, oh, there you go. See it? Like, it'll bounce between from where it should be.
You'll get some cover.
Oh, the constant tearing. By the way, this is VSync on after already having restarted the game. If you read online fora of the time, everyone says VSync doesn't work. Well, it doesn't work. So it's like, let's shoot the Troika gunner if he's still there.
It's kind of funny that they're like telling you to sort of cut him off from behind like this and flank him. But in later Gears games, you don't really need to do that when facing off against a Troika, right? You don't. You just run up to it and just go.
This game has some interesting design. Like, it's wondering like where some of this stuff. Oh yeah, you can man the Troika to shoot the duders.
The Troika. One thing I also love about this game is the call-outs that the characters have. So, like, when an enemy enters a scene, they would be like, Boomer! Grubs!
Oh, yeah.
Stuff like that. The Troika! And you'd always get those, like, voiced lines that gives you an idea of, like, oh, there's something in the scene. And they also did that stuff with the music, which maybe it was a little cheesy, but, when the battle was done, they would play that sort of, like, battle is finished stinger.
Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. I'll play it right here.
So yeah, there was a lot of audio cues in this game designed to sort of like, let the player know what's happening around you, even if you couldn't see everything happening.
What about the best audio cue in the game? The headshot sniper rifle sound or the headshot pistol sound. Like, do you remember that?
Yes, I do. That's fantastic.
Oh my god. It's fantastic. Look at if you can go back after you kill those dudes, look at the texture right here. If you go back to this, you can just see the difference in the texture quality on PC.
Where are you?
Behind that one where Dom is right now.
This pillar?
Yeah. Force that dude out of the way. If you can look at it, like right here. Oh yeah.
Oh man.
Like,
what the heck?
There's a very different texture, as well as the fact that I don't know, like the lighting is slightly different too. Maybe the light maps are cooked to a higher res or different resolution, but like there's a lot of differences here.
Man,
like just look at this texture. Very, very different. Yes, it's higher res. I wouldn't necessarily say it's aesthetically much better.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it's technically higher res, but I'm not sure that actually works to its benefit. Like, let's pull the camera back out and let's see. Just
It's noisy.
it's really noisy looking. That's
Yeah.
weird. What about this? Somehow I feel like the texture looks better on 360 here for that rock wall.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The lighting's catching it very differently for some reason. Who knows really why? One thing to talk about, Xbox 360 uses 2 times MSAA.
Yep.
It's not very good coverage.
Nope.
I think it breaks with HDR. This game on PC ships with that same MSAA implementation, but it's limited to DX10. And let me tell you, it is god-awful. It is
Doesn't
really
really
bad.
work.
It's 4 times on PC when you enable it, but it doesn't affect anything.
I think
funnily enough,
it's applied far too early in the rendering pipeline. So like by
Yeah.
the time it gets to the final frame, it's any effect is lost.
yeah,
Because too many other things needed to be done after it. So
it's a big waste.
it's a waste
for
of
rendering.
resources.
But if you force it in the DX9 version of the XE with like the NVIDIA control panel, you get way better coverage and oddly enough performance. So this game shipped with DX10 on PC. It's used for one thing and it doesn't even work right. I'm gonna have to make a video at some point about DX10 hype or bust, and this is definitely in that video.
What about the flight sim water?
Flight Sim Water is also going to be in that video. Crisis, Lost Planet, whole bunch of games. Stalker, also DX10 with Clear Sky.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that one. I don't know how much it needed DX10 to do those effects, but like at least use them for something. A lot of games that were like, this EXE is slightly different. Like this one is slightly different. Runs worse for no reason.
Okay.
I mean, this is a cool fight when you think about it.
Oh yeah.
In the middle, facing
think-
waves of enemies.
The thing to remember is like in terms of just like a single player directed experience, this was such a gigantic leap for Epic. Like I love Unreal, I think it's great. And their older stuff, Jazz Jackrabbit and the like, and those are fun in their own ways. But I feel like this felt like such a type of game that Epic had never made before, and I was really surprised at how well they pulled this off.
It's really well done in a lot of ways. It actually is like the first time they have like really good cinematics in their games.
Yep, absolutely.
I mean, there's a lot to talk about here that is really well done. It's just interesting how, from our perspective today, it was so lauded for its graphical prowess back then. But now when we look at it, I think it is aged way worse than a lot of games that came out in the same time period.
Or like years earlier on
or
much
even
less
years
powerful machines.
Yeah.
Because I think what they were trying to do is they were moving towards new graphical rendering concepts that weren't quite ready, so to speak. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of this stuff is still very early. I feel like one of the first games to really get that right would have been Crysis 1. Where they did invent a lot of new rendering paradigms just for Crysis, and they work. They look awesome.
Right.
Unreal Engine 3 was earlier stuff, and it definitely wasn't, especially early. I think things got better, especially once they introduced like light mass into the mix.
Yes.
Which you want to go left or right path? Are you not
Wait
even
one
there
second.
yet?
I gotta finish killing dudes. They're taking their time.
I'm gonna do the right path then, and I'll just wait for you.
wait a second. I gotta clear this emergence hole. Oh, okay. Now I'm gonna get some ammo because I'm out. Like, look at that motion blur as the camera turns.
Yep,
Ooh,
yep.
Looks nice.
Yeah, there's just there's a lot to this from the time.
Oh, this performance though. I kind of want to switch over to the 8800 GTX because it's so bad.
But then you've got to play all the way back up here.
Oh no, I've got saves. I got saves.
Okay, cool.
Well, let me just try that really briefly.
Maybe you should jump to the more powerful machine.
Okay, now I'm fork in the road,
Yep, go that
running
way.
forward.
Ooh, Jesus! Choose the right path.
You saw that, right?
I
hope.
did. That was not good.
Go right. Dom and I will go left. Yes, sir.
It's like they're moseying there. It's very weird.
Okay, and
Okay,
I just
I'm
turned
gonna
the
get to
camera
where
a
you
little
are.
bit. I am.
Like right there, right?
I didn't move, so.
Oh, okay. Well, that looks fine.
Okay.
Okay, now I'm on the 8800 GTX. Once again, the lighting and everything in the scene looks completely different. It's crazy.
It's so different. I'm completely confused by this difference in lighting now. What the heck?
Who
man?
really knows? Maybe Cliffy B does.
Probably not.
Was Rod Ferguson there back then? Maybe he knows.
Maybe. Probably we have to talk to the porting team on PC, figure out
Yeah,
what their goal was.
So one thing you'll notice, it is running a lot better on an 8800 GTX with a better processor, but you'll still see the occasional easy to notice. I mean, it's running way better. I mean, I can see that plainly as day, but it's still not good. Like, the amount of power being thrown at this is ridiculous. This is 720p again, just because I wanted for recording purposes to be 720p, and with 4 times MSAA from the driver. So it is really clean,
look at
actually.
this light on the floor, or
Ooh,
from
yeah.
the ceiling, but you could really, that bloom difference.
I really like that.
That really shows off the difference. Huh. This reminds me of Splinter Cell 1 on
Right.
PC versus console. The Xbox version had much more like robust, like sort of bloomed out lighting.
Uh-huh. You're right, it does. We should do that one soon with the PS2.
Yeah.
That's like the key one I've always wanted to do. There's a lot of games that I want to do from this period still.
I know.
There's a lot of UE3 games from this period. Like, we wanted to do like a trash UE3 marathon, if you recall.
Oh yeah. Area 51 all day, baby.
Yep. Oh, so
Black
this is
site.
running really great. Like here, this, because I'm not moving, like 60, awesome performance. I mean, are they coming? Like, what's
They
going
are.
on? They're not
And
coming
so
on
am
my
I.
end. I don't know why. Do I have to hit the button in the door? Maybe that's why. That's why they're not coming.
No.
Oh, the door just opened. All right. Oh, isn't this the destructible piano? Is it?
Maybe.
No, it is not very destructible, apparently. Marcus, should we flank them? Oh, each and every stutter.
You feel it.
Like I said, minutes are draining away from my lifespan. I'm going to die at 72 now, and by the end of this video, it's going to be like 54.
This the amount of stutter. There's really not stutter problems here on Xbox.
No. UE3 was a whole different beast on console. I would also say it didn't run there well in a lot of ways in some games. Oh, what killed you? The
I
Troika?
got flanked.
You got flanked. Man, I mean, the AI in this game is not bad. They are flanking you with the cover system.
Did you ever
what?
get you just kicked down the door? Did you ever get this feeling like the kick animation for the door always felt like it was too close to the doors?
Oh yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Where it just looks like they kind of extend their leg and like it never looked right to me.
Look at this. This Troika gunner just immediately like turns to me when I go up. Like, I love when you can see the holes in a game's AI like that. Like, he's being, countered by someone all to his front, and he decides to just immediately turn to me. Right. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's bad guys. I got to get on the Troika. They sure like this trope of you taking a gun.
There, I swear.
They like this trope of you destroying a gun emplacement and then taking it over and shooting the baddies from it.
It's satisfying. I gotta admit.
It
I
is
gotta
good.
admit that is a fun mechanic. Okay, they're like, yep, they're coming in. Get down there. Get to that Troika. Grub hole. Troika.
Here I'm also forcing VSync from the driver because, like I said, the VSync just doesn't work in this game. I don't know why. Whatever. Look at this foreshadowing. Carmine is on the ground, dead. Or half dead. Spoilers.
Foul sync.
So what would you say is the first Unreal Engine 3 game when you look at it back in the day, where now you'd say, oh, that really holds up pretty well, actually?
I would say the first one that always springs to mind is 2008, so 2 years after this, Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge is great. Great choice. Really good choice, Sean.
I think it holds up beautifully. Like it's still, you put that out right now and it's a gorgeous game. Like it has not lost a step. Maybe the character models are a little bit,
even then
they're fine, but like they're not. But the lighting that they use was what, I forget what that was that they used for baking out GI.
they called it maybe Beast
Beast
or something like that.
Yeah, there was a name to it. Oh, and here we go. This is it. Yeah. This is the birth of. Whoa, don't move yet.
Look at the difference in the blue.
Wow,
Holy crap.
that's completely different looking.
And even the colors different. Yours is like blue.
Yeah, it's like got a bluish hue, very metallic and blue.
Why? This is so interesting.
Why did they change that so much? That's so weird. But to continue, this is the birth of the slow walk. This is as far as I know the first game that had both those like hold button to look at thing combined with these slow walks.
I'm switching to controller here to make it perfect for us. Wow.
But yeah, the visual difference here in this scene is unbelievable.
I hope everyone just saw the stutters on my end. Oh, so awful. Using a controller now. Look at the door shaded even differently.
Yep.
Okay.
Can't
3,
do it
2,
yet.
1.
There we go. So let's get out here and take a look. Oh wait, look what happened.
Is loading.
I've never seen that before. Is this? I'm starting to wonder if there's something up with the optical drive on this 360.
Yeah, I mean that could like look at the ground texture. Yours is not loaded yet.
Yeah,
it's gonna load soon. That
there
means
it goes.
That is. So I think your 360 seeing some optical
drive issues. I mean, I have like 5 360s, so I'll toy around with them. It's just this one has a mod chip in it for putting stuff on the hard drive. So I like it. Huh. Okay, if we sit here and just look up at this. Yeah, I feel like the tone is very different.
It's so different.
And it's a weird one to judge because I think it looks cool in both cases. But obviously I would say the 360 version is the original vision that they must have had.
I have to agree with that. I almost feel like this is some issue they had while porting. We've seen this before. Remember when we looked at Turok, the fourth game? What is it called?
Yeah, Evolution.
Oblivion or something? No, what is it called?
Turok Evolution.
Evolution, my bad, sorry. Oh, yeah.
Oblivion is used in Turok 3's title. Like Shadow of Oblivion or something.
Shadow of Oblivion.
Oh, wait, look at this. Get up to this van here. And look at this. Look at the way the bloom interacts with it. Yeah.
Rhodey running over there. Not actually that fast.
Okay, so it does have the shiny texture applied, but...
Yeah, and mine is really high-res shiny texture. It's really high-res.
Yeah, it's quite different.
It's shiny, but it is not blooming nearly as much. Like, yours goes pure white really quickly.
Yeah, it does.
Once again, I'm not, like, with that, I'm not sure what I like more.
Yeah, I know. It's hard to gauge. It's just... And of course, this is
look at the wheel. Look at the wheel texture, bro.
Look at the wheel clipping through the stairs. There's no SSAO didn't exist yet. They didn't factor this into any light maps, so you just have like this floating truck. And we're just having good fun here because like this kind of stuff you don't expect any of that in 2006.
No, this game was known for its high quality textures and super dense models.
They actually did a good job faking occlusion on the sandbags.
My sandbags are lit completely different than yours. You're a little bit further up than me. 1 second.
Yeah, I'm right
Let me
there.
go to these guys. And dumb. Yeah, I would love to see this city again with UE5 stuff. And with the coalition behind them, with E-Day, they already posted on their blog they're going to be targeting hardware Lumen, so hardware ray tracing, which will be really high quality. And I'm presuming they're talking about Xbox there.
Yeah, I would assume.
I mean, they even mentioned ray trace shadows. Maybe they're talking about ray trace shadows. Maybe they're talking about Lumen. We'll see. What's the reload button? I haven't played this in a long time. It's RB. Sorry.
The original Coalition tech demo they showed off was done. They just used VSMs there only.
Right.
Maybe they've switched to. But I guess they were probably also using software Lumen as well.
Yeah,
so
who
knows?
Oh, jeez. There's the Troika. Do I have to... I think I'm going to... I don't know how to play this game very well on a pad. I forgot how to play it. It's kind of bad.
It's okay. You're a PC gamer.
I played this game on 360 though when it came out. My brother had a 360, and this was like the most amazing thing my eyes had ever seen at this point. You know,
Yeah, I agree.
it was awesome.
Whoop,
Oh.
grenade.
Can I not take cover on the Troika gun here? This is
And I've
weird.
got all my dudes, my posse. They're all down out there.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't get. Oh wait, that's actually. It's hard to tell in this little OBS window.
It is cool to
Who's
see
what.
how the enemies just kind of turn into chunks when you shoot them with this heavy gun. It is satisfying.
I agree.
The game is very bassy. Oh, this is when we get the shotgun for the first time, right?
Yep.
The Nasher. A really good gaming shotgun, actually. It's one of the classics, I would say. In terms
That defined
how
the
much damage it does.
multiplayer. It was all about the shotgun, the Nasher.
Not exactly the most fun part of the multiplayer, to say the least.
No,
It was
not at all.
all about the Nasher.
I was never a huge fan of the multiplayer in Gears. I know some people loved it, but I liked the co-op though.
Oh,
Co-op
co-op in this
was
game
where
is
it was at.
incredible.
And the texture here, not great.
Which one is that one?
I'm just back in this. I'm back here in this little hallway. Oh, cutscene time.
You
Wow.
good? Yeah, but I got a problem. Something's wrong with this thing. Ugh, it keeps jamming.
There it is.
See?
Oh, there you go. Yep.
Sniper!
The red shirt gets shot. That's their equivalent of the red shirt.
Look at that. Also,
Carmine,
look
I
at the
guess it
lighting,
was.
though. Do you see that? There's yours has like lighting that lines up really nicely. Like it's probably a cube map, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
it
like
has to-
lines up
It
really,
actually looks really good,
nicely.
I gotta say.
I don't know if mine is so well lined up on the PC. Let's take a look because we've already seen that the
The misalignment.
no, they're
Okay.
although right
No,
here.
they're there. They're okay.
They're just not as bright due to the weird color differences in versions of the
That
game.
looks good. I will admit.
It's good. I like it. I'm fine with that.
Let me get on the Troika.
If it weren't for those big, massive hitches everywhere, this is like super steady on an 8800 GTX SOI. Like super steady. Otherwise, what a shame.
What a shame.
I mean, going back and playing this, it holds up in terms of gameplay at least.
Yeah, it's still fun. It's still fun. And this isn't even. They already remade this game, if you remember the
Oh
Ultimate
yeah,
Edition.
yeah.
Which that had some decisions I didn't love about the visuals.
Yeah, I'd
But
agree.
it was still interesting.
It's hard to always balance that out because you have all this new tech, and some of it necessarily changes the visuals.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a hard balance. But you know, then there's times where they do it just really poorly. I always think the Halo CE
Ooh,
remaster,
the first
is-
Halo CE remaster. Halo 2's I think was much better. But
Yeah,
Halo
I agree.
1 was just a mess in its original form. Ugly, ugly, ugly remaster. Okay, where are you, Kim?
Alrighty.
Oh, there he is. He's just hanging out back here.
There's some chainsawing going on in here. Which gun do I have out? Pick me up. Those
Okay.
textures are just way high res. My goodness.
Here, let me-
That's like the UE3 look. It's like, look how specular shiny this weird inanimate object is. Look
Yep.
how shiny
get-
everything is.
Let me get in there and look at some tiles.
Oh yeah, take a look. Yeah, shoot them dudes.
So where are you standing? Oh jeez.
Go to the far right. Oh wait, be careful! Don't get nashered.
I do not want to go to the far right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right.
I got nashed.
I think we just found Alpha.
Move! Somebody's having a good time up there.
So yeah,
Yeah, we're here, looking at the things.
let's look at these textures to see how they compare.
Let me get up to that one, like right here. It's like where the splat is, right? It's
Yeah.
like right there. Oh, why did Marcus just decided to jump? I'm so sorry. I have no idea what caused that.
I mean, we can
Where
see.
was that?
Yeah, that's
There we go. I mean,
it's not bad on 360.
it ain't bad. It's not as weirdly high res as it is here.
Nope.
But it holds up at basic camera distance, which I think is the most important thing, actually.
Exactly. How do these windows
you're not-
look for you? Oh, wow. Completely
So
different.
less bloomed. Again.
Wow, the whole scene is just... Huh.
But also, yeah, like...
Oh,
There's
and
also has a lot more
just as
yellow tones in
as
it.
a fun thing, and I think we're both doing it. It's worth noting though is that we're basically using the launch code for each. Is that right? Because this is just
okay. I can't actually. I would love to, but the launch version of this game has problems these days due to a certificate issue. I had to patch it. Unfortunately,
I see. Well,
But
I can say
it didn't change the visuals to my
right
knowledge.
on this though. This is the launch day 360 version. There's no patches applied. So
Right.
This is how it ran on day one. Sorry.
Wait a minute. I mean, he's not particularly high res here. Yo, Cliffy B, what's with this texture?
New avatar just dropped. Let me frame it so I can get that.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, we gotta post
All right,
this on.
Who made that? Come on.
Who are you?
It's been long enough. You can admit it.
You know, he's giving me Halo 3. What is his name? Admiral Hood or whatever.
Oh,
Give me
yeah,
some
Lord
Admiral
Hood.
vibes.
Good old Lord Hood. He does kind of have
This
that.
is where we should be meeting the rest of Alpha Squad, right? Oh, there he is. I see him already down
the
there.
Coltrane? Is he down there?
It's the Coltrane. Yeah, he's like chilling down there. I don't know what he's doing.
That
He's got his pistol
that was
out.
an extremely fun addition to this game.
Yeah.
Do you remember the football flash? Or wait, what is it? It's like smash ball or something.
Egg ball? I mean, I know
But
exactly
remember
what you're saying.
the flashback sequence in Gears 3
Oh,
when
yeah.
when he's on the football field and then it, that was wild.
Smash ball. Is it called like grind ball? We're gonna hear it in a second. They mentioned it, I swear, in the.
It's one of
cutscene.
it's some sort of ball related activity that athletes in
Let's
this
listen
world.
to it.
I can't hear it. I can't hear the game. So
Okay, I'll tell you what
Wait.
he says. Oh wait, there's a baddie right here. Got to get rid of him. Okay, there we go.
Oh yeah, I'm back in the game.
is it gonna be smash ball or is it gonna be something else?
Yeah, that was beautiful, baby.
State your name, soldier.
Private Augustus Cole, Alpha Squad, sir.
Coal? As in the coal train?
Yeah, that's right.
Where's the rest of your squad?
They're sitting tight over in the tomb.
So they introduce him.
We're Delta Squad.
They don't say what the name of the
We're
game
to
is
retreat
yet.
to Sonic
No, come on.
To get you guys out of here.
Hell yeah, we've been waiting for the chopper, but the radios don't work for shit. Sir,
That is
We
such
know
a
this.
trope.
it's the Cedars. They're jamming our transmissions.
He swears and then he says "sir" afterward, as to excuse it. It's
Thrash
great, John.
ball.
Thrash ball. Thank you, John.
So it does
Cork
sound like
grind ball.
It sounds like smash ball, but it's thrash ball.
Man, this era you
Oh
cannot
my
beat
God, I
it
love
in
it. I
terms
love
of
it.
this kind of stuff. This is the most dude bro name. of
Fantastic,
anything.
man.
Thrash
Fantastic.
ball.
Let's look up at this. That architecture was awesome.
Lighting difference again. My God, like yours is like so yellow and mine's like not.
It's so different. What the heck, dude? Okay, this is super weird. But I feel like we've seen a lot today already. Just
We
with this
have
first
seen so much,
layout.
John.
Look at the sky. Let's see how's that.
Yeah.
How's the bloom compare? Yeah, it's very different.
Very, very different. Yeah, we've seen a lot. We've talked a lot. Revisiting this on PC again after the last time we revisited it, I realized that the performance is really bad on PC, even on top end kit.
Yeah, what was the context of our last video? Because I know we did.
8800 GT, we were just looking at it there and talking about it. It wasn't really any context.
Wow.
And now looking at it with the modern lens again, not great. I like the high res textures, but you look at that 360 version, it's still pretty handsome. In
This
some
is
ways.
a scene right there. That looks very good. This is also channels that original Unreal Engine 3 tech demo with the open
Right,
square.
it
Like
is.
that's exactly what this is. Mm-hmm. And it looks good.
I think it's good. But But I think the next time we're going to revisit Gears is probably if they ever release a Gears collection. So we'll see that.
That's right.
That's right. But John, as always, thank you for joining me for this awesome Retro PC Time Capsule video. Yeah, and if you did
Always
like
happy
it,
to be here.
hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, support us on Patreon, follow on Twitter, and as always, this is Alex saying,
"Whoa! Thrash ball. Thrash ball. Thrash ball.
Stay cool, baby.
Thrash ball."